Hello, sweethearts, and welcome to week 7 of the Let's Play Summer School 2. Boy, howdy, this week we're playing one of my favorite games ever made for the NES. It's Zelda II, The Adventure of Error. Wait, what the fuck? Error? That's not what it's supposed to be. Yeah, week 7's requirement is to play a game that's modified in some way, so... This is a ROM hack of Zelda II, with Error. Who Error is will become apparent in a while, but man, look at that select screen. We got a nice red font and all this stuff, and here's our portly gentleman himself, Error, swinging his sword and jumping around like it ain't nobody's thing. And this is the part where I give you the crash course on how Zelda 2 works. I did a whole LP of this game for Something Awful back a couple of years ago, but now I gotta tell you all about that again in 15 minutes. So this is an action platformer, and the hack has a lot of Nintendo enemies in it, which makes it kind of interesting. And I just gained a level up. You get experience points, you level up your stats, attack, magic, and life. It should come as no surprise what raising each of those stats raises. Here's a hint, it's your attack, your magic, or your life. And you've got lives in this game as well, so you gotta be careful, because if you lose all of them, it's game over. You lose any experience you have towards the next level, and you start back at the beginning of the game. Which makes it kind of rough, because you don't want to die when you're almost at a level up. Now there's one more little wrinkle you can do to garner the level up system, but we'll get to that when it happens. For now, we're just gonna go to the first palace. So, it's a Zelda game, you gotta do dungeons. There's 6 of them in this game. And then 1 at the end of the game, so... The goal in each palace is to beat the boss, get the item, and then put a crystal into a stone statue, because, well, the plot of the original game involves you having to do all this to find the Triforce of Courage and wake up Princess Zelda, the original Princess Zelda, who's been asleep for, like, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of years or something. We got ourselves a not very pleased heart container, which will give us a little edge for palace number 1. It's not that far off the beaten path, even though you gotta go through a mandatory platforming section with bubbles. And those will hurt, by the way. They'll knock you back, and you don't want to fall into that water, because instant death. And you only get 3 lives. You can find lives hidden, but they're one-time use. So the ideal strategy is to just save them for, like, the final palace, because it's really difficult. But here we are. The Eastern Palace. Palace number 1. And we've got elevators. Man, Zelda 1 didn't have no elevators. Just have these annoying Simon Belmonts who don't give you any experience. And if they hit you, they actually drain experience as well as life. So that's kind of annoying. Another cool thing Zelda 2 does is strategic battling. So we've got this headless skeleton here. I can't attack him from the front. I have to kneel and get him in the knees because he's holding up a shield. And there's one more enemy who really requires some tricky combat maneuvers. You really gotta think when you're playing Zelda 2 on your placement and how you swing your sword and whatnot. It's really interesting. It's a lot more difficult than just hitting A to swing your sword in any other Zelda game. And yeah, that's something that we need to talk about. Zelda 2 is considered the black sheep of the Zelda franchise, and it has been for a long time. I hate that term. To me, that just screams, I don't like things that are different. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. But Zelda 2 was the first Zelda game I played, so I had no real preconceptions of what Zelda should be. Well, that's kind of... I rented Zelda 1 way back in, like, 1993, and I didn't get very far in it, but... I remember Zelda 2, I rented it years later, and I really, really liked it. It was everything I wanted. Ah, and there I did it. You can cancel your levels, and use those experience points to build up another stat. Say if you want to raise your attack instead of raising your magic first. Well, here I'm going to raise up my life, because it fills up your life when you level up, so I wanted the extra health, because I kind of got hit a little bit. But Palace 1 is not very complex. I mean, it's the start Palace, so you gotta start somewhere, you know? Heck, I have the route, the optimal route to this thing burned into my head. And I have that for, the first 4 palaces I think I can do on memory. Palace 4 might be a little iffy, but once you get to 5 and 6, they get really labyrinth-esque, and then the final palace is just... whoa. It is a nightmare gauntlet, and you really should check out that old LP I did, because I actually explored all the dead ends and whatnot, and it's ludicrous. I'm just gonna say that here. It's absolutely ludicrous. But I still like it, even if it's kind of a guide-heavy game, but in theory you can get by using the clues that the townspeople give you, because there are towns in the game. Townspeople give you clues. We'll see how the hack deals with that once we're done with this palace, but, yeah. And they're actually pretty decipherable, unlike, say, Castlevania 2, which I love that game. I really do. I played it a lot as a child, but part of that love is because my sister also gave me a book with, like, a walkthrough in it for Castlevania 2. Like, if I didn't have a book, I wouldn't know what the hell to do. I mean, I didn't even know about the whole kneeling next to Deborah Cliff with the crystal. I had no idea. I was trying to smash the cliff because they said kneel, hit it with your head or whatever the fuck. And these electro enemies, these guys, you can actually kill them, but they have such a lot of HP that it's going to take you forever to do that at attack level 1. So don't do that. Don't even really bother with that. But they are worth 50 experience a pop if you're willing to sit there and grind them. So there is that. That's good. We're about to come up to the item of the first palace, but it's heavily guarded. First by this Mario. He just hurls his fireballs upward, and you can get in there. There's a lull in the pattern where you can get in and get your hits in. But after we deal with him, we gotta fight... Ooh, that's a big experience bag. Good. I'm gonna need that. Both of those, in fact, against our boss. It's supposed to be an Iron Knuckle, but it's not in Belmont. Anyway. These things really like to defend, so the best method is to hop around like a madman and jump swing. Do jump attacks. That's what you do to beat those guys. And now we got a candle. And the hack, for some reason, just colors error to have Link's color palette whenever you get the flashy thing for you got an item. Yay! So, it's okay. It goes away after this. Limitations. So the candle illuminates dark caves. It's not required to beat the game, but you're crazy. You're a madman if you try to beat the game without it. I know speedrunners have done it, but I'm not about to do it. I'll take the candle gladly, man. So now that we have our item, we can go fight the first boss. Excellent. Just lead this Electro Boy away. That's fine. It's just fine. You know, I really do like this hack, though, I must say. The positives are, well, you get to play as Error, so that's neat. And we're gonna get a fairy. I do like that all the enemies are Nintendo characters from other games. So that's a nice little bit of variety, too. I mean, the hack could have just had the same enemies, but only changed Link's sprite to Error, but they went above and beyond the Call of Duty here. They added in all these other enemies. I don't know why the skeletons are still the same. Well, the heads are gone, and they're just hucking whips for some reason. No? I don't know what's up with that, but it's okay. It's just fine, you know? So who is Error? Well, he's an NPC in one of the towns who simply says, "I am Error." But that's not all he says. If you find another NPC in another town and go back to talk to Error, he gives you a clue to get to the third dungeon. So we beat this guy, and he can level up, and we can fight the boss. Oh, it's just a red magic jar. Yeah. Every 6th enemy you beat will drop an item, and there's 2 categories of guys. big guys and little guys. But here's our first boss, Billy Lee. Makes me really want to play through this hack to see what all the bosses are changed to, because all I know is that boss 1 is Billy Lee here. Originally, Horsehead, but just jump and attack and you'll be fine. Just fine. He's done. And we're going to get a level up for that, because we're cool. And we are going to take it this time. Because, see, when you beat a palace, you gotta put the crystal into the stone statue, like so. And doing this will refill all your magic and life, and give you an automatic level up. So if you're really strategic, you can leave this be until you're at a level that requires an astronomical amount of experience points, and then you get an automatic level up. What I did in my old LP was I did the palaces twice. I just went through, so I really sort of power leveled through the thing. But for here, I'm just going to go on, because we've got a little bit of time left. We're going to kill some bub, and I'm going to show off some other things. We're going to explore some towns, get some items, that sort of thing. And our little bit of time we have left. So let's head on down to the first town, which I could have done before the palace, but let's check this out. Yeah, all the dialogue is altered too, and here's where the hack sort of falls flat, for me personally. I mean, we got Link running around, which is cute, but then we get this. This hack is crude. It changed all the dialogue, so nobody gives any hints anymore. It's all just juvenile humor that a 14-year-old would find funny. Like, look at this. This isn't funny. It's just strange. And it makes me bat an eye, raise an eyebrow and go, what the fuck are you even trying to do here? But we're getting a magic spell. We're not stealing it from him because, well, the hack maker's trying to be funny, but this is the shield spell. When you cast it, it increases your defense for a screen. I could have taken it before that palace, but I chose not to because Danger's my middle name. Actually, no, it's not. My middle name is Cutie Pie. Well, we can get out of this town because there's no spitting allowed. Let's get another magic spell, why don't we? Up here is where we can get a little item that one of the townspeople in the next town requires, but first we gotta fight through a couple of enemies. Here's Shield in action. It even changes your color palette to be nice and red. That's cool. I'll go back to Dig Dug, you stupid bugger. Yeah, these are supposed to be Octoroks. They, spit rocks, because that's what Octoroks do, you know? Simple. These River City Ransom boys, yeah. They're boomerang throwers that come in 3 colors, and, we got the Metroid missiles. This is a quest item. You can't actually shoot missiles with your sword. By God, how cool would that be? No. That hack don't exist yet. That would require some major work. Yeah, I didn't really explain the enemies on the field. You wander around after such a time and you get into random battles. The Goombas are just weak encounters, and the other enemies are stronger ones. Yeah, and this is where things get really crude. Okay, this lady, you go into her house and it restores your life, but we sink to the lowest common denominator and go, well, gee, you're going into the house with the lady. I guess you're getting laid. And then we don't go for the same joke twice. We just go for some poop jokes here. Get it? Feces. It's not funny. Heck, you're not funny. Cut it out. Just cut it out. Anyway. This is the lady who wants the trophy, or missiles. Missile? You missed a letter there. But then again, I mean, you don't have much room to work with, so it's fine. It's okay. So this is the jump magic. Or fart magic in this hack. This is really a sour note here. I mean, You cast it, and you can jump higher for a screen, so it's good. It's good. It's a good spell. You're going to use it a lot as you play the game, but I just wish that it wouldn't. So, juvenile, you know? Like, this is a really neat idea, playing as a minor character from the game. But it's just juvenile. That's all it is. Well, in the little bit of time I got left, I'm gonna get one more secret. Those are the white ships from Mario 3. What are they doing here? Hold on. We're gonna go down to this cave. And, there's a nice little goodie hidden in it. I usually like to do this first, because this cave is not hard to do at all, even when it's dark, because you just go straight, and you can still kind of make out the enemies. And this is a magic container. Boost your magic. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. We've kind of gone over time a little this week. So this was week 7 of the Let's Play Summer School 2. Adventure of Error is pretty fun, although a bit crass. And see you next week, I guess.